le vaudou, la magie, le fétichisme, l'occultisme, voilà les pouvoirs qui fonctionnent aujourd'hui dans les églises bâtiments. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue dans votre émission Entre nous. Ici, nous encourageons les vrais pasteurs, mais nous dénonçons aussi les faux pasteurs. Pour continuer, je vous dis générique. Hello, bonjour à tout le monde. Je vous demande, vous tous, d'être concentrés. Tous ceux qui sont sur Will Gospel Ministry TV, soyez concentrés. Ne laissez personne vous déconcentrer. De même que nous venons dénoncer les faux pasteurs ici, les faux pasteurs ont payé des personnes pour détruire notre image. Donc faites très attention. Il se peut que vous puissiez passer sur des chaînes où on nous insulte, on nous méprise, on nous vilipende. C'est normal. Donc moi aujourd'hui, si quelqu'un m'insulte sur une vidéo, je trouve ça normal. Donc c'est normal qu'on nous insulte. Même Jésus a été traité de Belzébuth. Ça ne leur a pas fait quelque chose. Alors si quelqu'un s'élève pour nous insulter, c'est pas grave. Ne m'envoyez pas ces vidéos parce que j'ai pas besoin. Nous continuons à faire l'œuvre de Dieu. Nous continuons à dénoncer les faux pasteurs et nous continuons à avancer avec les vrais pasteurs. Ceux qui savent que je suis vrai, ils savent que je suis vrai. Et ceux qui vont douter de moi, ils doutent de moi. Restez ici, c'est chez vous. Ne soyez pas distraits. Du 16 au 21 septembre, nous avons notre conférence sur le mariage qui commence bientôt. J'espère que tu seras de la partie. Il y aura beaucoup de personnes qui viendront parler du mariage. Ça va vous aider à avancer. Donc bientôt, vous aurez l'affiche et la vidéo. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous laisser regarder un témoignage terrible pour celui qui a écrit ces livres. Church Mafia. En français, c'est la mafia de l'église. Cet homme a dénoncé les pires des choses qui se passent dans les églises bâtiments. L'idolâtrie, l'ivrognerie, la vie incestueuse et la vie bizarre des faux pasteurs. Il a dit toutes les vérités qu'il faut. Et aujourd'hui, il va vous dire quels sont les fétiches que les églises utilisent. Comment est-ce qu'on arrive à endoctriner les chrétiens? Comment est-ce qu'on arrive à posséder les chrétiens? Jusqu'au point où nos mamans, nos jeunes filles peuvent donner tout leur argent. Ils peuvent se faire escroquer dans ces églises-là. Alors, je vous laisse regarder la vidéo et nous revenons juste après.
I will start with the issue of powers, where the commissioner asked about the voodoo, or what kind of powers are being used in these churches. There are different kinds of powers. In this book, The Church Mafia, I speak about how I traveled. I did not go only to Nigeria. I also went to Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, where I was initiated and I saw what is called Mamba Muntu. That is a half crocodile and a half human being. And I saw it with my eyes. I was not drunk. I was not under any influence. I saw it. It came. We went to the river during the night.
This, my brother here, went all the way to Nigeria and DRC for initiation so that he can get some powers to attract crowds to his church. They encountered a demon called Mamba Muntu, which was half human and half crocodile. He was baptized in water by that demon so that he can come back to South Africa and have influence over the masses. His testimony is very much interesting, and I want you to pay attention to it. I'm bringing up all these testimonials so that you can relate to some of the things that I've been talking about. I'm doing all this out of love to preserve your sanity and to save you from the so-called men of God. Listen to the story.
It was a full moon. The light that was there was from the moon. As we went in that river, in an island called Kongolo, in DRC, an island called Kongolo. And when we went there, the man who was going to initiate me, they spoke French there. So the one who was interpreting for me is the one who took me there. So we went into the water and they did some incantation. And after doing some incantation, this being, it came as you were in the water. You are able to see during the night. It's quiet. You are able to see some movement from a distance. The water was just splashing. There was a sound, and it took my concentration. I saw it was coming. I did not know what it was, but they told me that they are going to call their God, which is half human being and half crocodile. This thing came with a very powerful speed. You know, if a person is swimming as a human being, you are able to know this one is a human being by the speed. But this one, it was an extreme speed. It was coming, and it came behind me at my back. It held me here. I'm talking something that I saw it. Now, I could sense that it was big, and the cloth and the hand that touched me here, it was not of a human being. It baptized me, as in putting me in the water, and after that it gave me something like an egg, because I could not look at it because I was afraid. It gave me something like an egg, then I had to swallow the egg with the shell. Then from then, the man did some incantation, then it went away. The way it was breathing, I could tell it is not a human being. As they gave me the description, they said it's a half human being and half crocodile. And the hand, I could see this one, it was more of a lizard with nails. Now, after that episode, I had the encounter where I dreamt, it was a vision, this one, where I dreamt being underwater and being given instruction. So there is a physical manifestation that is also connected to dreams. So when a person has dreams, they are connected to the physical manifestation. So coming back to the question of power, as I've said, these church leaders, Commissioner Langa, they acquire different kinds of powers. The voodoo power, it's one of the powers. And that is the reason why these days, in most of these mega churches, on their pulpits, you find that they call it decoration, but it's not decoration. They put fruits. You know, when you worship voodoo, you can do your own research. They put fruits on the particular gods. Where the god is, there must be those fruits as a sign of a sacrifice. So on this pulpit, they are very beautiful, but they are surrounded with fruits. So that is a sign to show and say, on that pulpit, it is an altar of a voodoo. Because fruits in the church has nothing to do with the church. So those fruits, they are a sign that we have sacrificed, we are giving you these fruits. And after the service, they can say, everyone come and pick up the apples. And people, they will go and pick up those apples. They start to eat. But they don't know that those fruits there, they've been sacrificed to the god, which is voodoo. And it does not end there. Others, they even go to an extent of using what we call marine spirits, which is called the water spirits. Water spirits has a background where you can trace it also in the Bible. It comes a long way. Now, this water spirit, number one, the church where your church is, it must be next to the water. There must be a river next to the water where you are able to take people for what we call baptism. But this is not the same baptism that Jesus encountered. This is a baptism into an occult. It's more of initiation. So they use the water or the river that is next to the water, or they can even have a swimming pool in the church. If they have a swimming pool in the church, all members will have to vie through that water. If they don't have a swimming pool in the church, they can make a service, a special service where the pastor will say, I'm coming to wash your feet. Out of the blue, the pastor says, God spoke to me that I can wash your feet. And every member in the church will take off their shoes, because this is a marine kingdom that wants to influence the church. So every member of the church has to vie through that particular water. So the pastor will come and wash you. He will take his time. He's a busy man, but he has to make sure that he does that by himself with his own hands. He'll bath your feet. That is what we call the marine powers. In other instances, they use what they call do as I say. In my instance, they gave me a small horn. It was called Ashe. It's a Nigerian name. It's called Ashe. Now, with that horn that they gave me, they said before I could talk, I have to wrap that particular muti on my tongue before I go to the pulpit. So they collect a lot of powers. Others, they even bury live cows, live animals in the church, so that their church can remain as powerful as they want it to be. So attending such churches, it makes church members to be victims of these kind of powers. You go to one building, but you've got more than 20 powers and you are not aware. Yet you are the one shouting the name of Jesus while you have been possessed by many powers in that particular church. And these powers, they work for one purpose, to bring the crowd. All they want is numbers. So they do anything that they can for these powers. And all these powers, as I have said earlier on, they've got their own characteristics. Some of the powers, they want blood sacrifice. That is the reason other members will die. There can be a stampede in that hall. There can be a stampede in that crusade, but life has to be lost in that particular environment. Others who are close and who've got, let's say, a particular gift. You can be a musician who's been loved by people in that church, and you are close to the pastor. As time goes on, the musician can have an accident. So they cause some of the members to experience untimely death, because those will be part of the sacrifice that these powers are looking for. I'm coming to the issue of South Africans. Are we the only one who are being these victims? When I went to Nigeria,
I hope you're connecting dots. I'll bring you the other part. I don't know where you're watching me from, but the full episode will be on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok, you can go ahead and watch the full episode on YouTube. These stories are quite disturbing. And how many mysterious deaths have you witnessed in these shrines? How many? Tell me. Musicians. I'm not going to call out names, but how many musicians, popular gospel artists, have passed away mysteriously in these, your so-called prophetic churches? How many? And they've all been treated as if it was normal and natural. But no, they were all sacrifices. Not that humans don't pass on, they do. But in these shrines, they look for those with the talent, with the gifts, and they rob them of their glory so that they can sustain their occultic covenants. The brother said quite a lot.
Hello, vous avez regardé la vidéo, vous avez écouté. J'espère que vous avez tiré une bonne leçon. En tout cas, ce que moi j'ai tiré dans cette vidéo, c'est que la puissance de Dieu est là, mais il faut avoir le discernement pour reconnaître une bonne église. La puissance de Dieu est là, mais il faut avoir le discernement pour reconnaître un bon pasteur. Oui, il y a des bons pasteurs, des meilleurs pasteurs même, mais ils ne sont pas beaucoup, ils sont peu. Parce que quoi? Ils prêchent sur la sainteté, ils prêchent sur le retour du Christ. Les vrais pasteurs ne vous prêchent pas un message qui vous fait aimer la terre. Les vrais pasteurs vont vous prêcher l'évangile qui vous pousse à changer vos vies, à changer vos cœurs et à accepter Jésus. C'est difficile de le trouver, mais si vous avez le discernement, l'Esprit Saint va vous amener dans les bonnes églises et vous allez être des vrais chrétiens. La Bible dit, mon peuple périt parce qu'il lui manque de la connaissance. Mais en finissant cette vidéo, je vous dis, demandez la sagesse à Dieu et la connaissance pour ne pas que les hommes puissent vous amener en enfer. Même moi, je cherche mon salut. Je ne suis pas là pour faire de vous des fidèles. Je ne suis pas là pour faire de vous mes fanatiques. Je suis là pour partager un message. Celui qui aime, il reste. Et celui qui n'aime pas, il part. Je n'ai jamais forcé quelqu'un à écouter les vidéos que je fais. Tout le monde est témoin. Mais c'est la vérité qui sort de ma bouche et ce que j'ai dit qui pousse les gens à être sur la chaîne. Maintenant, si quelqu'un est jaloux de ça, crée ton monde, crée ta chaîne, fais tes vidéos. Au cas contraire, nous avons commencé ces vidéos depuis 2013. On a passé des nuits blanches, on a prié, on a gêné pour que Dieu touche les cœurs. Alors aujourd'hui, Dieu a touché le cœur, vous êtes jaloux. Pourquoi? Cherchez aussi à travailler dur comme nous. Donnez-vous et Dieu va aussi permettre que vous puissiez avancer dans vos vidéos. Alors, soyez bénis mes amis. C'était cette vidéo que j'avais fait pour vous. Dites-moi ce que vous pensez par commentaire. Est-ce que vous est déjà arrivé de rencontrer un faux pasteur? Comment est-ce que vous avez fait pour échapper à son piège? Je tiens à citer les personnes qui sont vulnérables face aux faux pasteurs. Les femmes seules avec les enfants. Tu es vulnérable face aux faux pasteurs. Un homme qui vit dans le chômage ou qui n'a pas d'argent, tu es vulnérable parce que le faux pasteur va utiliser ta situation pour qu'il puisse te tirer l'argent. Les jeunes filles qui sont seules ou les étudiantes qui viennent dans les pays étrangers, vous êtes vulnérables aux faux pasteurs. Les enfants sont vulnérables aux faux pasteurs. Les femmes mariées, vous êtes vulnérables aux faux pasteurs. Les couples immatures, vous êtes vulnérables. Quand je dis vulnérable, ça veut dire vous êtes des personnes que les faux pasteurs peuvent cibler pour attaquer et voler l'argent. Donc faites très attention Ouvrez vos yeux et ne laissez personne vous escroquer. Sur ce, je vous dis bonne journée. Soyez bénis. Sachez que Dieu gagne toujours. Écoute, partage la vidéo et permets à quelqu'un de comprendre qu'avec Dieu, c'est une question de sainteté. Ce n'est pas une question de visibilité, mais de sainteté. Sois béni et bonne journée. Je te dis bye bye.